What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to analyze the tape of center Cam Jurgens, who has looked pretty damn impressive on tape to me. The guy's returning back to his natural position of center, and there's been a lot of really good things this guy has done on tape. One of the things that I really like with Jurgens is the fact that he moves really well. He gets out in space, he makes contact with people. He's also a really good run blocker. If he has to reach, he's able to get in front of people and cut them off. And he's also very smart, and you see all of that on tape. And today we're going to get into his tape. Let's just get right into it, man. I'm very excited to talk about this guy because this is one of those guys that I really like coming out of college. We're going to start right away talking a little bit about what this guy shows from a processing perspective, because it's one of the things that's going to flash right away with Cam Jurgens. He is smart. He sees things very well. He's able to process. He's able to pass off. And here's a great example of that. The quarterback's going to pick up 8 yards on this one. But you see what Cam Jurgens does on this play. He's going to recognize that the defensive line game is coming. As soon as he sees the defensive tackle slanting to the left, he quickly comes back that way. He helps the left guard, who then can essentially release and potentially pick this guy up. And he just does a really good job processing. You got another one here where he's going to do a really good job once again, seeing that the linebacker's ultimately blitzing. He passes off the defensive lineman lined up right across from him. He passes it off. He's able to get to the linebacker. He shuts it down. And of course, on this one, the quarterback picks up 15 yards on 3rd and 11. But again, it's just a really good job being able to recognize a linebacker potentially coming, being able to recognize and be on the same page as your guard. And you see here, he's able to pass this one off to Becton. And then he's going to end up getting back to the linebacker. And he does a really good job right there. To me, a phenomenal processor. Smart as hell. And just a generally good football player when it comes to pass pro. Now, I do think he can continue to develop when it comes to pass pro. There's definitely things on tape that you look at and say it could be done a little bit better. But we do have to recognize that Jurgens is only 25 years old. And this is the first time he's playing center in the NFL. And another thing we've got to recognize is being a center in college is a lot different than the NFL. Majority of starting centers in the NFL don't even start right away. A lot of guys end up playing guard before they transition over to center. And there's a big reason why, because of the learning curve. And generally speaking, this guy's very solid when it comes to pass pro. But this guy's not going to make his money in pass pro. He's going to instead make his money when it comes to run blocking. And that's what we're going to talk about next, because this is one of those things when you put the tape on, in run blocking situations specifically, the guy absolutely dominates. Yes, there's some losing plays. There's things he'll have to continue to clean up. But there's a lot of plays like this where he gets physical. He does a great job with leverage. He moves a guy and he ends up winning. Take this next play here as an example. This is going to be a 59-yard run by Saquon Barkley. And you see this guy just do a really good job. Physical, tough, the technique's phenomenal as well as he snaps the ball and gets out of his stance. But I mean, just look at this play here as soon as he's going to get out of his stance. He's going to snap the football. He's going to loop around here. He's going to make contact with the linebacker. And not only does he make contact with this guy, but the way he makes contact, the helmet placement, turning the butt so the running back has that lane is phenomenal. And then at the end of this, you guys will see he's going to even end up putting this linebacker in the ground right there. To me, that's a great job right there by a guy who's in his very first year as a starting center. He did play obviously a lot last year at right guard. He had a lot of losing snaps last year, but I think as a center, this guy's going to continue to develop into a really good football player, because you can tell that he understands blocking angles. He understands leverage. He understands the different things he has to do. You pair all that up with the fact that he's smart, right? Because you know that he can process defensive line games, and that translates to both pass blocking and even in run blocking situations. Because in the NFL, there are run stunts that happen as well, especially because now teams are running a lot of duo. So there's run stunts that end up happening. Plus, you know, some guys are going to spill and they'll have linebackers kind of jump to the outside. But there's a lot of high quality reps with Cam Jurgens. And this is a guy that I really like. This is a guy that I think has so much upside for the Eagles. I wanted to show you guys a couple more snaps of him specifically in run blocking that stand out to me. There are plays where when you watch him, you say it's absolutely impressive. Take this play right here against the Atlanta Falcons. You're going to see Jurgens do a great job with all-pro Landon Dickerson. He's going to make really good contact, and then he's going to climb up, and you're going to pick up about 10 yards on this one. But the thing I really like about this play is the leverage. Look at how low Jurgens is. So he's going to snap the ball, which in itself is difficult to do, to be able to snap, get out of your stance, make contact. I always say this, man. Center's a very tough position. But you see, as soon as he snaps the ball, look at the leverage. Bam! Gets right underneath this defensive lineman. Stands him up. Allows Dickerson to get to the inside of him. And then Jurgens is going to climb up to the linebacker. And he's going to make great contact with the linebacker as well. And you can see Saquon Barkley is able to cut this off of the center here. Just a really, really good job to be able to pick up about 9 to 10 yards. Now, another thing that Jurgens does that really sticks out to me, and this is very, very Jason Kelce-like, it's his ability to reach on zone runs. It's his ability to cut people off. Now, this play actually loses 5 yards, but if you guys keep an eye here on the center, look at the center get out of his stance and make contact, and then look at him flip the hips. Look at him with the footwork. I mean, this is such great footwork, and, you know, I know this play loses 5 yards, so people are going to say this is a bad job, but to me, the fact that this guy's able to make contact with the defensive lineman and then he shuffles his feet, he's able to get in front of it. And you see at the end of this play, Cam Jurgens has cut off this defensive tackle. And I know, again, the play loses 5 yards, but these type of blocks translate. And you guys will see over the course of this season, these type of blocks where Jurgens is able to cut people off and he has to reach is going to allow the Philadelphia Eagles to have success running the football. Here's another example where Jurgens is going to end up getting in front of the two-eye technique defensive tackle. He's going to cut him off, and this one's going to pick up 9 yards. And again, him cutting this guy off is what allows this play to pick up 9 yards. I know the running back is the guy that's going to get credit for 9 yards, but you can literally put the 9 yards on the center here because this play doesn't work without that block. And the thing is this is not basic stuff, right? Like, this is not as easy as saying, hey, Jurgens, you're down blocking or you're sealing something on the backside. This is a very, very difficult block. Like, you have to be talented as hell to be able to do this right here. To me, that's an absolutely incredible job. And I also want to give some credit to the running back here because most running backs would see this lane in between here and say, I'm going to try to hit this into this gap here. But Saquon Barkley trusts these guys up front. He trusts that Jordan Mailata will contain the guy up to the outside, and he trusts these two guys will seal that guy off, and then one of them will pick up Quay Walker. And because he trusted it, this play right here picks up about 8 to 9 yards. So again, just a really, really good job by Saquon Barkley to be able to trust that. Great job by Jurgens to be able to reach and cut off that defensive lineman. And never underestimate how important it is to, if you have a reach block, to continue to try to reach. Until you hear that whistle, you do not stop trying to reach. And this is a great example of that. 34 yards here against the Green Bay Packers. And that's because of the fact that Cam Jurgens did not stop reach blocking, or he did not try to stop to potentially get in front of this defensive lineman. I mean, think about this play right here. Jurgens has to get in front of number 93, and then Dickerson has to climb up to Quay Walker. But as 26 gets the ball, he almost hits this to the inside, but he ends up bouncing it a little late. But because of the fact that the running back bounces this a little late, you'll see that when Jurgens ultimately reaches on the defensive tackle here, that Saquon Barkley is able to hit that. So again, playing through the end of the whistle, knowing what your responsibility is, and just continuing to turn the feet, continuing to shuffle, continuing to move, can lead to plays like this. And we've seen Saquon Barkley have a ton of success this season. And of course, a big part of that is because of what Cam Jurgens has been doing on tape. This guy has been very, very good when it comes to run blocking. And, I talked a little bit about this on my social media, specifically with Jurgens. I said this guy looks really good. And I got a ton of comments where people are saying he's not that good of a football player. But it's crazy to me because when I watch the tape of this guy, he looks really, really impressive. And something tells me the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line, by the time this year comes to an end, is going to end up being one of the top 5 offensive lines across the board. It'll be one of those things where everybody agrees with it, because not everybody might agree with that right now because they have had some injuries. But I'm telling you guys, this offensive line is going to be very, very good. I think even at right guard, you have 2 separate options. I think Tyler Steen has actually looked really, really impressive. And the little things that Cam Jurgens does allows him to be very good as well. And we already know what the Eagles have at left tackle, left guard, and right tackle. But again, I think that center and right guard position was what a lot of people weren't 100% certain with. But I'm telling you guys right now, although Cam Jurgens is not Jason Kelce, this guy's still a very, very good football player. And I think there's a good chance Jurgens is going to end up being an all-pro football player within the next couple of years. It's just little things this guy does that is so freaking impressive. And look at this play right here. Look at how he gets low. He moves this guy. He makes sure that the right guard's able to gain that leverage as he makes contact with him. Plus, he gets up to the linebacker, and the running back picks up 9 yards just like that. And that's because of Jurgens' block right there. Overall, this guy has been very impressive. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, consider subscribing. We are covering the Philadelphia Eagles on this channel, and we will be getting into some more of the defensive linemen, as well as Tyler Steen and some of the other offensive linemen. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time with another video.